What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Gooner channel, a channel 100% dedicated to the Arsenal, who, as we all know, are by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. And, well, now my question is, who doesn't love a bargain? And in football, it doesn't come any more bargainy than a free transfer. And we should know, because we pulled off arguably the best free transfer of all time, signing Tottenham's captain, Sol Campbell, from Spurs. Worked out pretty well, didn't it? So when I looked at the list of players who are available for free transfers this season, I was pleasantly surprised. And what I've done is I've put together my top 5 that Arsenal should be considering bringing in, because I think they can lift our squad and make it possibly easier for us to win a Premier League. Now, there are some honorary mentions in here. Toni Kroos at Real Madrid at 33. I think he's just past his peak. Quite a bit past his peak. Then there's Wilfried Zaha at Crystal Palace, a player we were linked with so many times, who I think really would have done great things at Arsenal. You know, you could make a case for, playing in a better side, he'd play better, but he's had a pretty poor season, and I think we may just have to concede that it isn't going to happen for Wilfried Zaha at Arsenal. Further to that, Youri Tielemans, another player that we've been linked with so much, and who could have predicted how bad his season would be. I think the time where he would improve our squad has come and gone, and I don't think Youri Tielemans is right for us. Marcus Thuram I've ruled out, although I do think he's a good striker. It's just not clear to me he's definitely better than Folarin Balogun, Eddie Nketiah. So what we're really looking to do if we're going to get a striker in is at least upgrade on one of those 3. And, I might be wrong about this. He has had a great season, 13 goals. So, getting straight to the top 5. Now, number 5. Now, I was recently asked what I was going to talk about in the closed season now that there's no football. And it just made me laugh, because I spent more of my time watching YouTube channels in the transfer window than ever I did during the normal season. And the reason for that is because there is something intrinsically exciting about who might be coming to Arsenal. And if one name stands out for me as that kind of realization that the transfer window was just silly and it never really turns out like that, and you can spend all summer, well, many summers, talking about a player and he still doesn't come, Karim Benzema. Well, he's a free transfer now. He is 35 years old, but he has scored an impressive 17 goals and he's had a really good season at Real. Now, obviously, Real are going through some changes, and they're obviously not prepared to commit to him. I'm not sure Karim Benzema is a starter at Arsenal, but I think partly I'm just getting myself too emotionally. It's like an itch that's never been scratched. And you do wonder if he has maybe 1 or 2 magic seasons in him that would really help us. He's a proven winner. He's a big game player. And look, if you're a young player, don't you want to see people like Karim Benzema come in? Perhaps the salary's too big. I think I do just want 1 season of Karim Benzema. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen. Just to be clear, this list is not a list of people I think are coming to Arsenal on a free transfer. It's just me sort of thinking who my top 5 would be if there was any chance in it happening. And number 4, along the same lines, is N'Golo Kante. Now, 4 years, I would have jumped at the chance to sign N'Golo Kante. He is exactly what we need. And he's 32 years old, brings experience at the highest level. He's a proven match winner, great competitor, and versatile as well. He hasn't had a great couple of years. The biggest stumbling block in N'Golo Kante's got to be the fact that he's currently earning around £300,000 a week. And I don't think we're going to come anywhere near that. So maybe he will hold out for a team that is looking to splash that kind of money on him. Or maybe he will try and stay at Chelsea. For me, he would be the sort of player that you could have in almost any game. But whether he would be fit enough to play many minutes is another question. So you're undoubtedly going to have to buy players around him as well. But come on, N'Golo Kante. It's like fantasy league, isn't it? He's absolutely one of the best players in the Premier League of the last 10 years. The third, now this is a very real prospect, I'm given to understand. There's been a lot of buzz around this over the last couple of weeks, and it's İlkay Gundogan. Now, obviously, he's leaving Man City. There's talk that he wants to go and live in Germany. But he has been strongly linked with Arsenal, and you can see why. If one thing that's come up most often is, would Pep Guardiola sanction any more sales? And I think he would. And here's the reason. I think if he genuinely believed İlkay Gündoğan was going to be pivotal to him winning the league next season, then he wouldn't let him go, which points to the fact that maybe he isn't that missing piece for us, but certainly part of it. He is a really experienced leader. He has absolutely come good at the most important times in the season over the last 2 years and been a big part of why Man City were able to beat us this season. It wasn't just us imploding. They also found form right at the end where you could forgive them for having run out of steam almost, and they didn't. İlkay Gündoğan, if that can get done, you can easily see how he would fit into the team. And even if he doesn't play in every single match, because you do have a Moses Caicedo or Declan Rice, then I still think having him on the bench at least is a big fillip for all the players and keeps them on their toes in a way that I think Jorginho has done, particularly for Thomas Partey. So number 3, İlkay Gündoğan. Number 2, Marco Asensio. Now, I think, okay, so is he going to start over Saka? I don't know. What I do think is that he would be an absolutely brilliant person to play at times on that side just to give Saka a bit of a break. And he has won everything. He's leaving. He's 27 years old. This season, he started 14 games for Real Madrid and come on as sub 14 times. But in that time, he scored 9 and assisted 6. I don't think he's at his peak yet, and I would be really excited to see him come in and play the occasional game and really see, if we can't maybe move positions a little bit. But I definitely think it'd be great to have someone challenging Saka of his standard. Again, look, with all the Real players, all the big players on this, it's going to come down to wages. Is he worth relatively the wages he would be expecting? Possibly not. And that would go against him, of course. But number 2 for me, Marco Asensio. And finally, now this should be obvious. If you haven't worked this out, you just haven't been paying attention to the news. Paris Saint-Germain fell out with Lionel Messi because he took a trip to Saudi Arabia, which he wasn't supposed to. And they said they weren't going to renew his contract. I don't know if they were ever going to or if he was interested. But as soon as that story broke, the news was all about how he might be going back to Barcelona. That hasn't panned out. But he was apparently keen to stay in Europe or to stay at a top flight club because he feels he has another Ballon d'Or in him. Now, I don't know if he does or not, but I'm not arguing with Lionel Messi. He is, without question, well, if you're going to get into the Ronaldo or Messi thing, let's at least acknowledge that Messi is one of the best players the world has ever seen. He's won everything, done everything, and he is... Listen, if bringing the world's greatest player into your club doesn't give the other players a bit of a lift, the fans a bit of a lift, if it doesn't improve shirt sales, all of these things are true. Whether he would come to Arsenal, I don't know. I think that it's not about winning league titles for him. It's got to be about, appearing on a big stage in Champions League. He might look at our team and think we could do quite well, especially when you look at the semi-finalists this season. I don't think they're necessarily a league above Arsenal. So perhaps we've got a really good chance. And if Lionel Messi came to Arsenal, I definitely think we'd get some results, right? Now, is he definitely going to Saudi? I don't know. Even if he doesn't, it's hard to imagine that we could offer anything like the kind of salary that would at least make up some of the lost revenue from a Saudi deal. So I think if he's going anywhere, he's not coming to Arsenal. But wow, what a chance. He nearly signed for us when we signed Cesc Fabregas, but a work permit got in the way of that. That and probably his undying love for Barcelona. But there was a very good chance of him coming to Arsenal, and it just didn't happen because of work permits. Wouldn't it be great, therefore, if he spent his last 2 or 3 or 4, maybe 5 years? He's 35. He's not, that's no age, let me tell you. So that's been my top 5 with Leo Messi at the top. Now, I'd love to hear what you think. Obviously, you're going to agree with me because I'm right and this is not subjective at all. But maybe I've missed some people out because of oversight or just not paying enough attention to the news. So do let me know. And also, if you disagree with me, I'd love to be able to help you through that. So leave a comment in the box. If you are going to leave comments, you probably want to also click subscribe and like. Thank you so much for watching to this point, and be lucky. Lots of love.